All Things Black with Garland and Calvin present Fanboys. Fanboys is a weekly breakdown of the sports world from a fan's perspective. Now, here are your hosts, Garland and Calvin.
All Things Black presents Fanboys. And we are back again. We missed last week. Sometimes we miss a week, so y'all don't even need to trip, but because we're always going to be back. I'm Calvin. That guy right there is Garland, and I don't even know where he is when I finish the recording, when I edit it. So he went right now. He right there. I saying he could be up here. Y'all don't even know. But anyway, we're here again. What's going on, sir?
What's going on? Was that a Bud Light you were chugging on there?
You know what? Let me change my glasses because I'm trying to get a little style in here. Yeah, it was. It was. I tried. But I tried to cover it up.
With Bud Light.
Exactly. I tried to cover it up. I was like this with it, but here you go, giving free advertising to, I guess I'm giving free advertising to Nike. I don't mind giving free ad to my Orioles,
right.
You know what I mean? But hey, I tried to cover it up, and here you go talking about it.
Was that a light?
Hey, Bud Light, we need y'all to come sponsor us. Give us a little
come through, Bud Light. Fan Kings, whatever. DraftKings. I said Fan Kings. I'm putting two different betting houses together. DraftKings.
Ain't it the conservatives that don't like Bud Light? Didn't Garth Brooks say he was serving Bud, and the conservatives don't like it?
It's Miller Lite around here, brother. Miller Lite or Michelob Ultra.
Wait a minute, you're not a conservative, are you? You're not a conservative.
No, I'm not.
Yeah, the conservatives don't liberal. They don't like Bud Light for whatever reason. I never even really found out.
What? I'm gonna take that back. When I say I'm liberal, I'm progressive. And so
okay. We can deal with that. I mean, we can deal with it if you were conservative, unless you hollering about a Trumpster, then we might have to talk.
No,
talk. I'm a Michelob Ultra guy too. I like Ultra also. Miller Lite I don't dislike. Miller Lite is less filling, tastes great from way back in the day.
Well, you know what? You just gave me an idea. Next week, top 5 beers.
You know what my number one is. You know what my number one is.
You say I know what your number one is.
I'm gonna hold it
for next.
I'm gonna save it. You know what my number one is. All right.
We're gonna see who the real beer snob is on this. As I pull out my IPAs.
I
only drink IPAs.
I only have one IPA that I actually really like. I'm not a big IPA fan. They're a little bitter for me. But anyway, what else we got going on today?
Bro, let's get into it. We're going to talk about this NFL. If you haven't seen the news last week on ESPN, they was talking about the NFL and these Jon Gruden email leaks, and it's deeper than we thought it was. And then we're going to jump over to a little college football, man. You got some coaches out here, man. They bullying and they letting hazing go on in their programs and people cheating and whatnot. So we're going to tap on that. Of course, we're going to talk about the O's. The O's, hon. I know, black people, we like baseball. And so we're going to talk a little bit of baseball. Yes, we watch it. Yes, we support the home team. As a matter of fact, Calvin and I are going to the game tomorrow versus the Dodgers and all. As a matter of fact, it brings back a memory of my grandfather. My grandfather, most of the people of my grandparents' age were Dodger fans, and they were Dodger fans because of Jackie Robinson. And so whenever the Dodgers came to the East Coast, at that time, there was no interleague games. So if they came to Philly, my grandfather would buy tickets to go see the Dodgers play the Phillies. And so he would drive up to Veterans Stadium and watch the Dodgers. They were Dodgers fans. And so looking forward to tomorrow night's game.
Yeah, one of the reasons I really wanted to go tomorrow because of obviously Mookie Betts, but the Dodgers, I was really happy when they won their championship during the pandemic because the Dodgers have always been my favorite National League team, going back to Fernando Valenzuela, Tommy Lasorda, Don Sutton. When Dusty Baker played for them, they have always been my favorite National League team. And like you said, back then there wasn't in a conference playing. So I was about to say interracial. There wasn't in a conference playing. So
oh my God, you can sound like the
in the league,
Oakland A's announcer.
But there wasn't in the league play. But yeah, I've always been a Dodgers fan. So I was really pressed to go
Mhm.
this week to see them. So I'm really happy for that. And by the way, we are live on YouTube right now. You
Mhm.
will get us broadcasting on all of your podcast platforms. If you have Spotify, you will see the video. But again, if you're on YouTube, you can see us live right now. You can see us live in person. Otherwise, just continue to support the podcast, and we'll have some other things coming up soon.
Yeah, it's crazy because I was a big Red Machine. I was a Cincinnati
Okay.
fan
Johnny
and
Bench,
stuff. Johnny
Johnny
Bench, Joe
Bench in the
Morgan,
voice.
Pete Rose, George
I think
Foster,
Tom Seaver was playing
Tom.
with them
Not
back
on the
then.
Big Red Machine.
He
They
wasn't Big
had
Red
this guy
Machine.
Don Gullett.
Okay.
They had Senior Griffey, of course. He was on that team as well. Dave Concepcion. I'm naming the whole lineup. Tony
Concepcion.
Perez.
I remember those.
Yeah. hmm
Yes.
Cesar Geronimo. Yeah, they had a good team. And so, yeah, I was a big Red Machine fan as well. And so let's go ahead and jump into this NFL stuff, man. And so, blackmail, PowerPoints, racism, and snitches. The fallout from the Jon Gruden email leak. Now, on Wednesday, Don Van Natter and Seth Wickersham of ESPN, they released an investigative report on the Jon Gruden email leaks and how this ultimately led to the downfall of the Washington Commanders owner, Daniel Snyder. Now, the story is broken down, Calvin, into several parts. First part is that the NFL leaked the emails themselves. Now, in October of 2021, let's go back and have a little quick history lesson. The Wall Street Journal published an article about emails obtained during the NFL's investigation into the toxic workplace culture of the team of the then Washington Redskins organization, and a group of emails between Jon Gruden, who was a commentator on ESPN at that time, and Redskins executive Bruce Allen. Gruden says that the head of the players union, DeMaurice Smith, had lips like Michelin tires, and he called him Dumb Morris Smith. Both were very racist stereotypes. But when Roger Goodell, the commissioner of the NFL, contacted the Raiders owner, Mark Davis, to inform him about the information, Davis, he basically stuck with Gruden. If we remember this, racism did not fire Jon Gruden because he basically was like, okay, they'll be all right. And he, as a matter of fact, he coached his team's next game. But after that Sunday loss to the Bears, Monday, the New York Times, they published another batch of the emails that attacked Goodell. They used some very nasty language about Goodell and the LGBTQI community, community. And then Gruden resigned that day. And so, of course, Goodell, he denies that the league leaked the emails, and Smith claims that he didn't. He leaked them to the press, but they never confirmed that through this report. Then the next thing was this blackmail PowerPoint. Now, this is one of the, I guess it was kind of funny in this article. Now, several months before the Wall Street Journal article and the New York Times articles, Dan Snyder, he met with Roger Goodell and league officials in New York to discuss the findings from the league's investigation into the toxic workplace. And so when he arrived with his legal team, he presented Goodell and others a series of slides highlighting communication between Gruden and league officials that could be interpreted as racist and inappropriate. Now, this presentation was viewed as a threat from Snyder that he will expose the league if they chose to give him a punishment that he didn't agree with. And so subsequently, Snyder was told to step down from daily team operations. He was ordered to pay a $10 million fine and not attend league meetings. But after several months, they didn't reinstate him, and he assumed that he was going to be fully reinstated. And this one, he started coming out with these threats that I'll take the whole NFL down. They just don't know. But he basically came out and like threatened them, like, "Yo, look, if y'all want to try to sanction me, let's look at these. Let's look at these PowerPoints. Now, you see this PowerPoint right here, what your boy said. That might be a problem. That might get out. So y'all don't act too crazy." But then it get crazier, because find out the Rock's in here.
Hove.
Ho, ho. Let me put my mic down. Ho, the Rock's in here. The Rock's in here. Now, after the fallout from then President Donald Trump's criticism of the NFL after the protests of Colin Kaepernick and others over police brutality and social justice issues in the United States, the league needed help about what to do. And so Robert Kraft, the owner of the Patriots, he suggested that the league reach out to Jay-Z. Of all, don't go to Al Sharpton. Don't call Jesse Jackson. People who do this full time. Call Jay-Z. I know I sound like Chris Walker. You know what we need to do? We got a racial problem. What should we do? I know what. Call Jay-Z. Man, you can't make this up. I don't. Anyway, you can't make this up. Not call someone who does this for a living. They called Jay-Z, and so they asked Jay-Z, "Hey, man, what should we do?" And so Jay-Z said, "Hey, let's make some money together." So what Jay-Z did was he partnered Rock Nation in a $25 million 5-year deal to reshape the Super Bowl halftime show. I don't know what this got to do with Show Some Justice, but hey, we need better halftime shows. And so better halftime shows, produce music tied to the season, amplify the league's social justice agenda, and perhaps most importantly, move beyond the teams and willingness to sign Kaepernick. Now, it's believed that Snyder, an operation run by his law firm out of New York, with help from the CEO of Rock Nation, Desiree Perez, who's a government informant, leaked the emails. Now, Rosie Perez, not Rosie, Lord, not Rosie Perez. We're going somewhere. Desiree Perez. Rosie Perez. Desiree Perez. Now she was, I guess she was caught up in the game, and when they caught her, she's like, I'll tell on anybody. Maybe, she ain't taught the mellow snitches get, snitches get stitches, but not in Desiree Perez's case. Desiree said, I'm gonna tell on everybody, and she got off on that, and then Donald Trump pardoned her before he left office, and so this is just a big old conglomerate of messiness. And so let's work our way back from. Well, no, let's not. Let's start at first with the league. Now, from all of this, and I think you probably read the report as well. Who leaked this? In your opinion, was it the league or was it Snyder?
Well, I haven't gotten past the meme. Have you ever seen that where they keep pointing at each other? You
gotta
did
go see the Spider-Verse.
You did it. You
go see Spider-Man and the Spider-Verse.
Man,
it's
who leaked it. Everyone that could have benefit from it. I'll tell you what though, it's hilarious. I mean, you can do nothing but laugh. There's some minute. It's literally like Love and Hip Hop football. It's just,
yes,
everywhere. You got Desiree is a felon. Perez is a felon also. That's how she became an informant. She out there snitching on Mookie. Roger, I'm gonna snitch on you, Mookie. Roger. So it's just it's crazy out here. DeMar Smith, they called him Michelin. He tried to come back and say we only did it because he got rubber lips, like he always lied. Whatever you want to clean it up. But what DeMar's did, he flipped it, because he flipped it so where he could get the sympathy vote and was elected rep again. Like, I mean, exactly. So it's like you want to feel bad for him, but he's sitting back. Like, if you remember Bob Wade when Maryland got him and we was trying to get him back a job, he was like, "No, I'm good." They done gave me quite a few $1 million to walk away from the college. I'm good. It's like, yeah, I'm good. We good.
Right.
I think you got Dan Snyder was like, yeah, I'm gonna tell on everybody if you don't. And look, he done sold the team for what, $6 billion? Dan Snyder good. It's everybody. The only person right now that they really need to be is Jon Gruden, because they trying to get him out of this litigation and settle with him. And Gruden is like, nah, son. Gruden like, nah, son, we ain't settling for nothing. He don't need the money. He like, I'm exposing everybody. So I think they trying to get ahead of it. But yeah, I don't know who leaked the question. I haven't the slightest idea. All I know is Lamar Jackson sign his contract, and come come the first game of the to play the Houston Texans, and they need to win. I need Dell to stay healthy, Bateman to stay healthy, and that's all I care about right now.
That's all you care about, bro.
When it
I,
when
go
it
ahead. What
comes
you
to
gonna
this
say?
NFL, get involved in that. That's that high level stuff where everybody involved making out. You know what I mean? Desiree Perez, you would figure, well, she might be, but she the one that Roger Goodell keeps bringing in the most. He inviting her. They already said the owners feel
Right.
uncomfortable with her
She
being in
in
the
the
meetings.
meetings.
She got like carte blanche. So who is there to feel sorry for? Who's
Right.
there to feel sorry for? Nobody. So I
Yo,
don't care.
it's kind of like crazy that Rock Nation has basically become kind of like the shadow commissioner of the league. In a sense, that's what I got from the article, that Rock Nation, basically people within the league office are mad at Rock Nation because Rock Nation has so much power and say in what happens in the league. That's crazy. Jay-Z, who they just made an exhibit at the Brooklyn Library on Grand Army Plaza, uh, Book of Hove. He run he runs the league. JC Penny, as I call him, JZ Penny
With,
runs the league
with the baddest chick wearing his chain. You
with
see
the baddest
where
chick.
she in the library and there's a book of home. You see how she's showing off for it? I mean,
Yeah,
come on, man. And you know
yeah.
what? I think that they need to send some apologies to Jay-Z. A lot of black you also. We are on record.
Let
All
me
of
see
us are
how I
on
should be
record with
apologizing.
all on record saying, "What you getting the money for, Jay-Z? You ain't doing what you good." He got all the power in the world up there, man.
He is doing with it. It might not be changing any social issues,
It
but
might
it's definitely doing
him
well
to
for him.
do. He
Yeah,
up there playing chess, so yeah,
yeah.
I'm apologize to you,
You
Jay-Z.
know, I'm down here, gotta go to work tomorrow. So you
we
know what I'm
thought
saying?
you was just stealing that man's money.
Right. We wondering, hey, what y'all doing? Well, it's obvious what y'all doing. Y'all running the league pretty much. But yeah, yo, this blackmail PowerPoint too. I use PowerPoint a lot for work. I teach college classes, so I use PowerPoint. I never use it to blackmail anybody. But yeah, when you coming out with the slides, like I wonder what font he had, the language from the email, and did he have like graphics with it or animation? Was it like slow coming into the screen, or did it pop out fast? Did the bad words like get large or something like that? I wonder, did he really dress it up, or was it just like a basic old using some type of template? I want to know what template he used for that
I'm gonna get me a
PowerPoint.
PowerPoint and present it to my wife the next time she tell me no about something. I'm gonna be like, no, okay, look real quick, and I'm gonna start. Remember on day you were supposed to have done this, but I let it slide.
Mm.
Did this? I'm
All
a,
right, you're gonna
yeah.
be like Daniel Snyder. You're gonna lose your job. Don't do that. Don't do that, my friend.
Listen, I ain't got
Trina,
no,
I ain't laughing at Trina.
I ain't got no backup.
Cat, I'm
I ain't
not
got no
laughing
backup.
at it.
I ain't got no backup.
Katina, I'm not laughing at it. Go ahead, go do your thing.
These
I'm
these is
really
all
tongue tied today. I'm saying people's names wrong. But
these is all jokes, girl.
Katina,
I love you.
right. You don't need Katina be like, you better use Google Present. Don't be giving me no daggone PowerPoint. But yeah, this is just to break down, in the background of it is crazy in terms of, I on my in my opinion, I definitely the league leaked it. They wanted to get the news out there, and of course, Snyder probably leaked some things because he's trying to catch favor with the league and put the things out there, and it really kind of just backfired on him because eventually, he lost his power. He tried to, threaten people. They like, we need to get rid of him, and now he has to sell his team. But he's going to be okay because he's selling it for a couple, and he
Billion,
made
couple
yeah, a
billion
couple
dollars.
billion, and he made a lot of bees when he owned the franchise as well. So good luck to them. But it's a very interesting article. If you get a chance, go to the ESPN website, read it up. But as we talk about Rockefeller and we talk about Hove, in my opinion, Hove is in my top five as far as individual MCs. I decided to ask Calvin, let's go through our top 5 hip hop groups of all time. Now, this recently, Billboard magazine on their online edition, they had put an article out, the top 20, no, it's the top 50 rap groups of all time. And in their top 5, they had, and I'm going to read it off. And I'll start from number 5. Let me go back. I'm pulling it up right now. Number 5 was Run DMC. Number 4 was A Tribe Called Quest. Number 3 was NWA. Number 2 was Wu-Tang Clan. And number 1 was Outkast. And so a lot of hip hop heads was kind of like, yo, what the Outkast? I mean, Cass got some solid albums though. Aquemini, I was just listening to that the other day. It is definitely it's a classic album. You should have it in your hip hop canon. If there's any Outkast album you should have, I know Stankonia is probably the more commercial of their classic albums, but you definitely out of Southern Playalistic. I think the first one was AT Aliens. The second one was Aquemini, and the third one was Stankonia. You definitely want to have Aquemini in your collection. And so, with that, with no further ado, Calvin, what is your top 5 hip hop groups of all time? Start from number 5.
Now, let me preface this by saying a lot of these lists, and when you talk to people about top 5s, they like to get technical. Well, this was this in this era, and this may have sold this. I ain't do none of that. My top 5 is what I listen to and what I online and debate with people. They'll be like, "You're tripping." This and that. This is all about what I like. I'm for the everyman, the ordinary man.
I want to hear what you're saying. You know, I'm gonna rip it apart if it's crazy.
I know you're gonna rip it apart. That's why I had because I don't have no defense. Because once you say, "Well, this should be in front," I'll be like, "Why?" Because I listen to this more than that. So you know. And all right, here we go. You want me to get you all 5, or you just want to do 5?
Let's go through 5. Give me your go through number 5. Give me your justification. Yeah, so we're gonna go through your whole 5, and then we'll go.
Okay. All right, let's go. So number 5 for me, I actually agree with Billboard. I'm taking Run DMC. Run DMC was the original group for me. And of course, when they came out, I was rocking them. Plus, they're part of my favorite movie of all time, Crush Groove. Rocking them
about that
from Rock Box to King of Rock to the live albums. I mean, Run DMC was it for me.
Yeah.
Number 4. Number 4. Here's where the controversy starts. Number 4 for me, Salt and Pepper. Y'all do not give Salt and Pepper credit for how commercial they were. Of course, put their biggest hit, and that's not even my favorite Salt and Pepper. Y'all do not give Salt and Pepper enough credit, but I jammed Salt and Pepper. And they first tape, because it wasn't no CDs back then. They first tape when it wasn't even Spin the on the cover of that. It was their original DJ.
The original Spinderella.
The original. So
the original Spinderella.
And number 4 for me.
Okay.
Number 3. You like that? You like Salt and Pepper? Okay.
I do.
Okay.
I do.
Okay. It let you know that I listen to a little bit of hip hop. I'm not you, but I listen to a little bit of hip hop. Number 3 for me. I'm not quite sure, the East Coast person, how this cannot be, and I'm doing what I tell people not to do, but I'm not sure how this cannot be. These people cannot be in your top 5. Number 3 for me is Eric B. and Rakim. Yeah, you don't have to follow this list, but Eric B. and Rakim put it. You saw how I did that. You see how I did that.
You ain't no joke either, right?
Exactly. Eric B. and Rock. I mean, come on, hits, jams.
Hits.
Number 2 for me.
Number 2.
This might be controversial. And these guys, I believe, are still putting out records. Now I kind of stopped listening to them, but their record for me, probably an all-time classic that I still play.
Okay.
License to Ill for me is the Beastie Boys.
Oh my Lord!
Huge Beastie Boys fan. I revere Brass Monkey, all of them.
All of
Huge
them.
Beastie Boys fan, and it's all because of License to Ill. It's all because of
What about Paul's Boutique?
it's
What about
all
Hello
because of License.
Nasty?
Has a License to Ill for me.
All right. Ill
And
communication. No, all right. I
number
just
one
named
for me.
several Beastie Boy albums. Go ahead.
Yeah, but I'm not. Yeah, License to Ill.
I know you just said like say,
License to Ill.
forget the rest of the catalog.
Yeah, forget
License
it.
to Ill.
License to Ill.
And before you say your
Which
number one, also they made a great movie, Steal This Movie. Have you ever seen that? It's a concert movie.
I, I haven't, but they are in Crush. Did you see that? Did you see? Remember they
I
made an
did see
appearance in
Crush
Crush?
Crew.
I
Look
know
it
you
up.
saw it,
Steal
but
This
did you see
Movie.
an appearance?
I did, but still, this movie, what they did was they put video cameras in the audience, and they told people to film whatever they were doing, take pictures,
Ah,
and you could turn it in. And they took that footage and they incorporated it into the movie. It's very different and stuff. But go ahead.
it sounds like you feeling me on Beastie Boys in a top group. Sounds like that. I don't know. You might not be
Down lower, down
for
lower.
you, but but you feeling me that they are they are a good
Not
group.
top five, but go ahead.
Not your top five, but don't hate because and first of all, I'm diversifying. I got women and white boys. I know what y'all
Now you
doing.
keep on going.
Number one, and
Number
I've
one.
told you this, said this several times before, so you should already know. Number one for me is Eric and Parrish making dollars.
Oh, that's
MD
right.
is my number
EPMD.
one rap duo of
Wow.
all. You know I'm feeling some EPM. So
Wow.
what you saying? You got come
You know
on.
what?
EPMD is my favorite duo or
I
group
would
of all time.
I would say we don't give EPMD enough respect.
We do
Now,
not.
I personally I would not have them in my top 10, but I think they're one of the, especially the golden era. And the golden era is like 88 through about 93. Yeah, one of hip hop's greatest groups. Definitely. All right, y'all got Calvin's top 10, top 5, and so that is, oh my god, I forgot to write them down. Number 5,
Oh yeah, number 5 for me was Run DMC.
number 4,
Number 4 for me was Salt and Pepper.
number 3,
Being Rock Kim.
number 2,
BCMD.
and number 1. Now I love Jane though. Haircut
Yo,
like
P,
Anita Baker.
why don't you do me a favor? What, chill with the bitch and I'll hook you up later. Fly, haircut. I need a baker.
Anita Baker.
Looked up and
Looked
down,
her up
said,
and down,
I'll
said,
take her.
I'll take
What?
her.
What?
Yeah, yeah. That Jane's a classic. Jane's a classic. That's a deep cut for everybody. Jane. Yeah. All right. So let me run through my top 5. It's not all technical. And I know I'm the hip hop head on this, but um, I will agree with you. In my top 5, number 5 is Salt and Pepper. Uh,
Okay.
Salt and Pepper had hits, hit albums. They had commercial. They had the underground hits. They're really the female rap group. Period. There's no other female rap groups. I mean, usually our females in the game, either they're part of a posse or they're solo artists. I mean, you got Queen Latifah, who, if you don't understand, I know most people probably just know Queen Latifah as the actress, but go listen to the first Queen Latifah album. It, yeah, Queen Latifah, MC Light, She Can Rent a Rhyme Fight. Yeah, MC Light. But as in terms of grouping, hits. I mean, Salt and Pepper can go on tour and do the tour by themselves, just doing old stuff. They don't need new music. To me, that's the sign of a classic artist. You don't even have to have anything new. You can go out, do your old stuff, and sell out. You can do an hour-long show just off your hits. And so, yes, Salt and Pepper, number 5. Number 4, De La Soul. Now,
Okay.
De La Soul, kind of like it's in kind of era. I think De La Soul just brought in the differentness of it, diversified the rap thing because it was all everybody looked like Run DMC up to De La Soul in the sense, nobody was wearing baggy clothes and had the Gumby haircut and was, kind of like the eccentric type of thing. A lot of those people we loved hip hop, but our parents wasn't letting us get flavored Lees and shellhead Adidas and the starter jackets because people was getting shot and killed for those things. And that was basically the hip hop gear up until we got to De La Soul. And so De La Soul to me brought diversity to the game. Number three, A Tribe Called Quest. A
Okay.
Tribe Called Quest. You Q Fife, Jerobi, Ali. I mean, hits. I mean, I think for me, A Tribe Called Quest ushered in the jazz sound into hip hop. It kind of like showed you can find other types of music that was not James Brown centered to rhyme over, and it really opened up people a lot to different types of music. I know for me, I was not a jazz head until I listened to some Tribe Called Quest. Like, okay, that's a jazz sample. This is this person. I never listened to Lonnie Liston Smith. I never listened to Wayne Shorter. I never listened to Miles like that. And it kind of, expose you to something different that, help you get another love for another type of music. And so five, Salt and Pepper, four, De La Soul, three, A Tribe Called Quest, number two, Run DMC. I agree with you. Run DMC is the epitome of group. Uh, they were the mainstream crossover group, period. My Adidas, Run's House, just all of it. That second album, well, it wasn't well. You had King of Rock, and then I think the second album had my Adidas and the other things
Hmm.
on it. Walk This Way, all of those hits. I mean, it was Run DMC. That's what it was. Crush Groove, all of those things. And so Run DMC is pretty much the foundation of it. They rock. And number one for me is Public Enemy. Public
I knew that.
Enemy.
I
Yeah,
knew
you
that.
knew that. Yes.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
knew that.
Public Enemy is if all you gotta do is go to my Facebook page. I am a Public Enemy stan. Chuck D. Public Enemy just kind of like educated people, inspired people to read books. I mean, the lyrics, they ushered in the Afrocentricity of era of hip hop in terms of knowledge of self, knowledge of your history, and they had some great beats. And they produced some great music. Not only their stuff, they did Terminator X. He did a couple albums. This guy called Son of Berserk, he had a hit. They did some other things as well. They produced the Juice soundtrack. So yeah, Public Enemy as a group to me is hip hop's greatest group. And so again, five, Salt and Pepper, four, De La Soul, three, A Tribe Called, two, Run DMC, and number one, Public Enemy.
And
All
let's
right,
not
y'all. So
forget, if it
mhm.
wasn't for Public Enemy, reality TV would not be what it is.
Flavor
Flavor of
Flav,
Love, Flavor of Love
Mr.
started
F. Come
reality
on, baby.
TV the way it is now. Let's not forget about that. Not forget about that. And
Mr. F.
fun fact that a lot of people don't know, Flavor Flav is a trained musician. Now I don't
Isn't
know if
that
he
right?
trained himself or
Musical
yeah, I don't know if
prodigy.
he trained
Hmm.
himself or whatever, but
Right.
Flav can get on, pick up some instruments and do his thing. Don't let that yeah boy, all that fool
Flavor
you.
Flav.
Don't let all of it fool. But yeah, I can see.
Flavor.
I'll tell you, your top five. If I had to do a top 10, everybody in your top five would have been
Would be in
included.
your top 10.
Yeah, would be included in that top 10. There were a couple of groups I was thinking about, just didn't have enough hits for me, but they had some songs that were memorable, like
Sure.
Das Effect. They didn't have
Wu
many hits, but
Tang.
the two songs they had, Wu Tang, Boogie Down Productions. You know what I mean?
You forgot
So
about them as a group.
yeah, would have
Hmm.
definitely been somewhere in there for me.
Outcast. I didn't have NWA. I'm sure some people on the West Coast is probably, like, yo, y'all got West Coast bias. But yeah, NWA, they had just don't bite it. They had a couple of hits and what have you. And so yeah, Jungle Brothers, if you want to get real crazy. The Roots are one of my favorite groups. I've seen the Roots at least 5 times live. And so I've been to two Roots picnics, and so yeah, but there's a lot of great groups out there. But like Calvin said, it's really based to your preference and all, and so
Yeah,
that's why
just
I ain't go
what you
hard
listen
on
to.
them, y'all. That's what you listen to. That's what you listen to.
You threw salt and pepper in there. Salt and pepper
Yeah, I
does
love salt and
not
pepper.
get
Salt and
enough
pepper. Yes,
from the hip hop community. I'm surprised you threw salt and pepper in there.
I'll Take
I'm
Your
really surprised.
Man is a lesson in lyricism. I'll Take Your Man is a great song. It's a great song. Yeah, yeah. I know people are like, oh, well, maybe they didn't even write it. Maybe they produced. I don't care who wrote it. It's the way they performed it. And yeah, so I'll Take Your Man is a great song. It's a great song.
My Mic
Anyway,
Sounds Nice was an anthem when
my
you was
mic
riding
sounds.
in
Come
the
on.
cars. Music. What?
You babble. Yeah, you babble on MCs. Get on out of here. That's right. You babble on MCs. Oh, Calvin, we lost his picture for a minute. He's gonna come back, hopefully.
So now I'm on my
So if
other.
you like to, oh, there he is. You back?
Yeah, I don't know what happened with it's on my other camera now. Let me see if I can get it back.
See,
But anyway,
you know you
this is a
fancy.
podcast.
Yeah, you know you fancy when you got several cameras, y'all.
Yeah, it just
Anyway,
automatically goes
so
over to
let's
the
talk
other one.
about Northwestern University, not Northwestern High School, my alma mater that it doesn't exist anymore. But Northwestern fires two head coaches for hazing and bullying in their program, and so Northwestern fired longtime football coach Pat Fitzgerald on Monday amid allegations of widespread hazing within the football program. The firing of Fitzgerald, who's 48 years old, comes after the school announced Friday that he'd be suspended without pay for 2 weeks this summer following the conclusion of a university commission investigation into allegations made by a former Northwestern football player. The school said the investigation, which was initiated in January and conducted by an outside law firm, did not find sufficient evidence that the coaching staff knew about ongoing hazing, though there were significant opportunities to find out. That's interesting. The school then reversed course Saturday after the Daily Northwestern, which is the student newspaper at Northwestern, published a story detailing allegations from the former football player who described specific instances of hazing and sexual abuse. Fitzgerald, in a statement to ESPN, said he was surprised when he learned that the president of Northwestern unilaterally revoked their agreement without any prior knowledge or notification and subsequently terminated his employment, referencing the agreed upon 2 week suspension. Fitzgerald went on to say in his statement that he has entrusted his agent and veteran trial attorney Dan Webb to take necessary steps to protect his rights in accordance to the law, meaning he's suing the school, y'all, so he can get his money. Now, not soon after, a couple days later, they Northwestern fired its baseball coach Jim Foster. Foster's dismissal came after allegations of bullying and a toxic environment within the program. Foster had been investigated by the university's Human Resources Department before the season, and the probe found evidence that Foster engaged in bullying and abusive behavior, according to a document obtained by the Chicago Tribune. And he made inappropriate comments about a female staff member. And also, a local radio station in Chicago reported that Foster discouraged players from seeking medical attention for injuries and that players hid their injuries from him. And so, Calvin, as we look now, Northwestern is not a sports power. It is in the Big Ten. It's more so known for its journalism school. I mean,
Right.
Michael Wilborn,
Mike
Michael
Golick. I'm
Wilburn,
not Gold.
Mike
Greenberg.
Greenberg,
Greenberg.
and among others. I think Jay Donde also went to Northwestern as well. So a lot of your major sports writers all came out of Northwestern's program, and so it's more so known for its academics as opposed for its athletics. But this is still something. I mean, this is a big time college program, and so especially with the football program, I think in sports we have this of team bonding, and I have to say it's always a fine line between it's for team growth and team bonding versus that could be considered hazing and bullying. And it's obvious that this blur there.
I'm still here.
Yeah, yeah.
I'm
I'm just
just working
curious
on the
what you.
camera. I'm
Yeah,
still
yeah.
here.
What you, I know you did. What did you think?
So just like and for everybody that's watching, just some camera issues. So I'm just dealing with that, but I'm still here. It's just like when we talk about sororities and fraternities, there's
Sure.
a big deal about hazing. Hazing has lost lives, it has injured people where they can't recover. And I'm not part of a fraternity, and I've always wondered, if you're supposed to love someone, why are you treating them like a gang and you're jumping people in
Hmm.
like a street gang? Now, when it comes to a school like Northwestern, who it may not be a powerhouse, but lately their football team in the Big Ten has been doing very well, making bowl games and actually competing well in the Big Ten. Why are you holding on to these old tropes? It's just like when we look at baseball. We're always like, these unwritten rules and everything. Why are you holding on to that kind of stuff? It's time to
Hmm.
move on. So firing the football and baseball coach is definitely something that I would have done. Now the football coach is coming back saying, this should justify me as to being able to come back, because initially it was just a 2 week suspension, which wasn't really anything because it's a 2 week
Right.
suspension in the off season. Like, you're not really suffering anything.
Right.
But now they've been fired. And yeah, more of that should be happening. We should not be harming these young men and women coming into our programs who just want to play and make a better life for themselves. I mean, they could suffer some irreversible injuries, and of course, as I mentioned, death.
I agree with you. I think that a lot of times we try to mask this behavior in team bonding. If you want to be part of the culture, then this is what we do. And we're not protecting people. We don't realize the impact that that has on people. If people are coming from abusive backgrounds and that's caused by some of that, that we're leaving to the team. And if you want to be part of the team and a part of the team culture, then you have to adhere to this. One of the things that the Northwestern report was also talking about, the student newspaper, was the black students and the issues they were having in uh, being a part of the team. They felt that this culture that came down from the head coach really made to make students of color kind of drop their culture. To be a part of the team, you have to cut your hair, or to be part of the team, you have to do certain things that may be of offense to who you are and to your culture. But this is a part of our team culture, and you have to do it. And of course, there's some bullying in that. If you want to be a part of this, then this is what we do. And yeah, I think build culture and to build team, and it's not just beating up people and saying now you're a part of my team. I know some people that are in fraternities and sororities, and they can't stand some of those people that pledge them. Like, they're like, I'll never forget what you did to me when I was online. Yeah, now I have to accept you as, my fraternal brother or my sorority sister, but it doesn't mean I have to be your best friend. And, people carry those scars because, you didn't necessarily sign up to be abused, but you were looking for, the brotherhood or the sisterhood and being a part of something. And a lot of times people take that too far, and it's obvious that we do have an issue with that, and we're just seeing it. I know on a high school level, just playing football, that was some difficult stuff to be part of the team. You had to do some difficult stuff. I'm not even going to talk about it on this podcast. Some of the things that we did to each other in the name of team. Like, if we treat him this way and he takes it, then yeah, he's a part of the team. Not thinking of the psychological scars that could cause on a person. Yeah, so we'll see what happens. Right now, they've hired one of the assistant coaches. They decided, Northwestern, not to let go the assistant coaches there. But a lot of times, I think we're building, especially at the collegiate level, where a lot of times we look at the head coach in such an authority figure, we're scared to do stuff. And so, if this coach is, discouraging players from seeking medical attention, you just, I
Absolutely.
remember when I played football and we used to have scrimmages and a person would get hurt, they would say, all right, move the huddle up. and we would leave the person behind us in pain on the grass. No one would come over and give them medical attention, but we move it up. And to me, that's a form of that. Like, okay, this person, they have an injury. We need to make sure that they're okay, that people are okay, and that we're protecting of our players. And that's something that's important. But a lot of times, hey, if you're gonna be a part of this team, you have to tough it up. You got to suck it up. It's this macho culture that does definitely is throughout sport.
One of the if you recall, the some years ago, the young man that died on at College Park, part of the Terps, the
Yes.
athletic trainer,
Mm-hmm.
was quoted as saying, "Move his ass off the field,"
Mm-hmm.
because they were trying
Exactly.
to continue practicing. He died, and of course, he got in a huge amount of trouble for that. Actually, lost
Mm-hmm.
his job. Now, granted, they just did not have the sufficient training to save his life. They just did things wrong, but he's going to be the fall guy. And when you make a statement like that, it just shows insensitivity. And like you said, if you're discouraging the help and using that macho attitude, that machismo, then yeah, something
Yes.
needs to change. Um, Something has to change. So yeah, I
Yeah,
agree
and
with you.
and I think these
They should have lost
universities,
their
they
job.
can't take it anymore because they're being sued. I mean,
Exactly.
that young man's family, they definitely settled with the university and all those particular things. But yeah, it's going to cost them if you have people like this who have no regard for the health, not only the physical health but the mental health of people that they've
Absolutely.
been entrusted to. Also, the Tennessee football program, they must vacate all 11 wins from the 2019-2020 season under former coach Jeremy Pruitt as part of the penalty of the NCAA stemming from recruiting violations, school officials told ESPN on Saturday. Tennessee avoided a postseason ban but was hit with a $8 million fine by the NCAA, believed to be the largest levied in an NCAA infractions case, and placed on 5 years probation, which includes the total reduction of 28 scholarships. And so Tennessee and the SEC, you need them scholarships. So I'm not looking forward to them winning any games anytime soon.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I don't care about Tennessee.
You don't care about
After
Tennessee.
no, after Peyton Manning got off from sexually harassing that what was it, the female trainer that
Right,
they had out
right,
there,
right. Well, they
Tennessee
had that
is
great season. They had Hendon Hooker last year. They won a couple games. They beat Alabama. They were on their way. I mean, this definitely hamstrings the program. You got these new schools coming into the SEC.
I'll just say it's a long time
Texas.
coming. It's a long
Okay.
time coming.
All right. All right. Hey, you reap what you sow. But hey, I think Jim Rome said it best. If you ain't cheating, you ain't trying. And
Hey,
so at least
but
they were
shout out
trying.
to T Martin. Get Lamar ready for the season. Shout out
There you
T.
go. Yeah, get them ready, T. Focus on your real job,
Yeah,
son.
don't worry about what your old team did, your
Mhm.
former college team did.
Right. Let's talk a little old. Something magic happens on your radio.
I had to make sure I got the camera back on. Thanks for sticking with me through the technical issue. We got to show these O's. Well,
Right.
hold on, real quick, because it was 3-0 when we started recording. What my O's doing right now?
The
Let me
magic
see
happens.
let me see what my O's doing right
Oh, they
now.
winning 5-0, top of the fifth.
They going for 8 in a row, another sweep, 2 sweeps in a row. I'm just, you know, uh, go ahead. Yeah. Let's talk
No.
about the Orioles, Garland.
Orioles baseball. I'm taking all back, all way back. That was an old theme song for the Orioles. Now, Orioles, they reeled off several wins before the All Star break. It was looking kind of rough for a minute. We were kind of like, the pitching, the hitting. You had some but in the last 10 games, the Orioles are 8-2. They on a 7-game win streak. They swept the Twins before the All come out strong, taking 2 or 3 right now, and they're ahead in the third game over the Miami Marlins. The pitching still kind of sucks. The hitting is timely. It's not like they're overwhelming teams with their play. Cedric Mullins had to come out the other day. He had been pretty
Yesterday.
hot. Yeah, he
Yesterday,
had to come
yeah.
out yesterday. Some tightness in the right quad. It happens to me all the time after I eat a donut. And so, Cedric had to come out. But, they're making do. Gunner, I don't like Gunner's glove as much as I like his bat. I think sometimes he's just, I want them to, if you're going to play him at shortstop, if he's the shortstop of the future, just leave him there. And you don't need to throw him at third some games. Then some games he has. Leave him at shortstop. If he's your starting shortstop, that's your shortstop of the future, go ahead and put him there. I like
Then what do you
Jorge
do with
Mateo.
Mateo? Yeah, what do you do with Mateo? Mateo has the better glove
Uh,
for sure.
how many options he got? Yes, he
Mateo has the better
yeah, but
glove is short.
last night, but
And
he had an error last night, but
they didn't
that's
actually
maybe
give him that error. I
they
thought
didn't
they were
give him
going to
that
give.
error.
No, I thought they were going
Okay.
to give it to him. I looked at the scoreboard. They didn't give it
Yeah.
to him.
Mateo can't hit his weight though,
He
and
can't. He started off the season hot
he
and with
did.
steals, but yeah, you're right. He
Hmm.
can't. That's why they took him out. They took him
Right.
out and put in
That's.
Frazier last
Hmm.
night.
And
So
Frazier, he's been holding his own. I think Westberg is trying to push him a little bit, so he's up in there chopping 2 home runs on Friday.
yeah,
Had a
yeah,
hit or two yesterday when he got
yeah.
in. They're playing well. I like the additions. Hopefully, they go out and find a pitcher. I don't like Cano. Cano is not locked down like he was earlier in the season. He gives up too many. Either it's a walk, it's a base hit, and then he gives up a home run. He's not shut down like he was. You remember at one point early in the season they were talking about make Cano the closer.
I was one of them people.
Yeah, you was. Oh yeah. Before you get on me, yeah. Oh, they need to just move them out and move them. And he not close. He walking people. He not shutting down. Put Cano in there. Every time Cano in there, he's Cano's giving up a run. I'll be like, don't put in Cano if you tied or you only a run up. You put Cano in with 2 runs up because he's guaranteed he's going to give up a one. Now, last night he did well. He did not give up a run. Came in, although Soler when he hit that ball to center, I was kind of like, and he caught it right at the 410 sign. Like, okay, woo. But what's your thoughts on your O's? I mean, Calvin. Before we got on, we always have a little pre-show that's not taped, and Calvin was all on me because he said that I doubted that the Orioles were going to win 100 games, and I was an Oriole hater, and all these other
I
things.
didn't say you were a hater. I didn't say you were a hater.
All right, what you saying?
But you are. You are. What's the word I'm going to use? You are. I look at the Orioles through orange colored glasses.
Mm-hmm.
You, sir, are what we would call an Oreo realist because even last year I was like, the O's are doing well, man. And you were like, I mean, they all right. They just missed the playoffs in the late second half of the season. But this year, I told you from the beginning, they're going to win 100 games. You was like, I mean, they might win 90 games. They already above 50 games right now. Road to 100. That's what every podcast now, I'm just going to yell out road to 100. Whenever we talk about the Orioles, road to 100. I don't know why you do not see them winning 100 games. Look at them. And by the way, you're not a Cano fan, but I'm not a huge Batista fan. I don't dislike him, but I think the hype is a little unearned.
You don't like the Omar theme when he
no, it's all
alone?
coming out the lights, especially during the evening, like last night, the lights and the whistle and all. I love it, but I just think it's a little unearned. Now, last night he did well. I can't even front. But you talk about somebody always putting people on base when they come in. You remember the other game? He had bases loaded with no outs. He got out of it, but why get bases loaded? Anyway. But back to road to 100, Garland.
Mm-hmm.
When they go above 90 and it's like 6 weeks left in the season,
you better hope you're gonna be holding on.
I'm just saying, when they win 100, I don't even want to hear it. I don't even want to hear it. Just know that I said Orioles are getting 100 games. They're going to win 100 games this season. 100 games.
All right. You know what? I'm a jump on the bandwagon.
What?
gonna go ahead and jump on the bandwagon, and I'm gonna go ahead and say it. Yeah, I. But the only thing, like I said, the only thing that's gonna hold them back is this pitching. Now
I
they
agree
said
with that.
that they're gonna try to bring Grayson Rodriguez back up to the main club, and there's a possibility that John Means could be back later in August, and so that's great as well. I mean, it's not. I'm sure they're not going to put him out there to throw 9 inning games on his way back. I'm sure he's going to be on a severe pitch count, whatever he does for the rest of the season. I'm sure he's not going to be doing major innings when he comes back. And so I'm not sure what type of impact, but they definitely need another bullpen arm. And Kyle Gibson, let me throw Kyle Gibson on the list too. Kyle Gibson can't get out the third inning sometimes. It's like he's just
Last night it was the second inning, and I'm
yeah,
surprised they kept him in as
yeah.
long as they did. He calmed down though. He calmed
He
down.
did.
But
He
they
did.
were they were smacking that ball off of him. Sometimes
Hmm.
you get these cheap bloopers and all. No, they were smacking that ball last
Yeah.
night, and I literally was like, "Wow, like you got to
Yeah.
do something."
Yeah.
But
Usually
he
he
calmed
has
down.
a yeah, he calmed down. Usually he has an inning where it just falls off the wheels fall off the cart and you look up there behind or they'll have a league like I think they were playing Cincinnati at the home series in Baltimore and he gave up a couple runs. They came back and got the lead. And then that very next inning, he came up and gave up several runs. And that's kind of been his MO the last several starts, but we'll see. And so Dean Kramer has been pitching better for them. He's pitched better the last couple times out. And so, you got to play the games and we'll see what happens. But they're on their way. I definitely think they're going to get one of these wild card seats. And I think
What do you
they're
see?
in play for the division.
What do you think they're going to do with You think they making some trades? You think they're going to let the trade line pass them by, trade deadline, or what?
See, we want to splash, and that's the thing. I mean, what do you have to give up? They're not going to go get a splash guy,
Well,
and so
you don't like Mateo.
I don't
They
like
could
Mateo. But
they could give up
what
Mateo.
type of value does Mateo have?
I
Just to
mean,
play at the ninth
if
inning for you, just to
well,
be a defensive replacement?
if you're just looking for a guy in middle reliever or a starter that can just eat up some innings, somebody that's in the final year of his contract,
Hmm.
some teams might give something up for Mateo. I mean, you just they don't have to be a star. All you got to do when it comes to pitching is as a starter, eat up the innings, and as a
Hmm.
middle reliever, just don't give up home runs.
I saw something crazy. It might have been in the paper. Someone was talking about how about Jackson Holiday for Otani. Like,
No, you
get out of
can't.
here.
You can't do it only because, and any other reason I might be like, oh, that's a consideration, but you can't do it because you don't know if you're going to sign Shohei after the trade. Like,
Right.
you know,
No.
Jackson is under control for what, another 5-6 years right now,
Yeah, yeah.
and Shohei is in his last season. That's the reason why the Angels might trade him, is because they got to re-sign him, and he gonna ask for damn near 600 million. So
And he ain't gonna get it in Baltimore because the
nah,
Angelos are cheap. But he would hit
yeah,
a lot of home runs here,
he
most
would.
definitely. He
And
would.
can you imagine? Not only is he going to hit, but he's going to eat up innings. He's a starting pitcher. I mean, God gracious,
Yeah,
good
yeah,
gracious.
yeah, definitely.
Road to 100. Let's go, O's.
Well, whatever. All right, and so we've come to the favorite part of the program that everybody loves. Come on, yo. So I'll go ahead. I'll start off with a little come on, yo. Recently, the NBA 2K, the video game, they put Sabrina Ionesco. That's your girl. I know you're a WNBA fan, and she
She's
plays.
I am, but she's not my girl. She's
She's
a
not
decent
one of your
player.
girls. Okay,
Nah,
she's
nah.
decent. She
She's
just
a
won
decent
the
player
three
though.
point. She just won the 3-point contest for the WNBA All Star weekend, and she plays for the New York Liberty. Actually, is the better player with her. Stewie is she's a beast, but she's on a New York team, and of course, because she's on New York team, that means she's the greatest that's ever lived. But Aja Wilson is now that's a player, and so come on, yo, we got to stop with this. Y'all put the least. probably maybe a top and a lower top 20 player on the face of the cover for the video game, and you didn't put the number one player, the last year's defensive player of the year and MVP, and I think she was MVP in the finals. She's a beast. She's a beast, but she doesn't get the cover, and so you know I don't know who makes the decision for the WNBA and who makes the decision for these video companies and who we should be looking at as the best players. A lot of times we're just getting the fluff, or I guess it's the girl who doesn't look. I guess I'm going to say the girl doesn't look too butch. You know, they put her up or what have you. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. That's am I? But anyway, it's the girl that doesn't look too much that they put up. But how about the best player? Let's go. We're trying to grow the sport. We're trying to, and to me, when we look at women's sports, we're not looking at women's sports in terms of their skill and ability. We're looking at them in terms of their sexual appeal, and we got to get past that. So come on, yo, let's start looking at these women. They're great athletes. They're great players with great games, and we got to look at them for their skill instead of what we think marketing would make more attractive.
The WNBA has and I believe it's the video game company that makes those decisions. But the
Mm-hmm.
WNBA has some other issues they also need to deal with outside of the player paying issue, which is always going to be a topic of conversation. They drafted some number one picks, and some of these number one picks get cut because they don't have room to play. They have to outplay. So they don't
Mm-hmm.
have that system like in the NBA and Major League Baseball and football where you bring five in, that means five got to go. Like they were literally cutting some first round draft
Yeah,
picks. It's like,
yeah.
that doesn't make sense to anyone. So they need to start dealing with things like that because it's no reason for these girls to play in college and win championships, but then go to the WNBA, which is their next dream, and then get cut. Like you don't even get a chance to play. You get cut before the season has started, and you were the number one draft pick of the team. So they need to start dealing with things like that. They have other issues that they need to deal with. So, but I agree with you with the whole who are you making the face of the league and why are you making them the face of the league? Is it because of looks or is it because of what they earn? Now, let's not make no mistake. Ionescu is a top player in the WNBA. Like we're not going to act like she's not. I think one round the other night she hit what 25 to 27.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So she's always been a top player, even coming out of college. So let's not act like she's not. So I don't want anyone to think that Garland's acting like she's not. But she's not the number one player in the league. Now,
Right.
I don't know if Asia Wilson, maybe she was offered and turned it down. Maybe she had another opportunity to do something. I don't know. But you would think that the number one player in the league should be the person that is on the cover, or at least the person with the most draw or the most exciting player. And she's not even the most exciting player. She's a very good player, but she's not the most exciting player. So I definitely
Exactly.
understand where you're
She's
coming
not the
from.
best player on her team.
Exactly. Um, so my come on, yo, has to do with the Oriole giveaway yesterday. And it's not the
Mm-hmm.
giveaway because they gave away the Oriole soccer shirts, which they give away
Oh,
every
okay.
year.
Okay.
And I got a soccer shirt. And of course, if you were one of the first 25,000, 15 and over, you get a soccer shirt.
Okay.
They actually, even when I walked in, to my surprise, they were like, would you like an extra large or a medium? And I thanked the guy that asked me that because clearly I'm not a fucking medium, but I thanked him.
Right.
And he was like, well, yeah, I didn't know if you were giving it away to somebody, you know. So I asked for the extra large.
Okay.
But here's my come on, yo. First of all, I'm giving a middle finger to all of you dudes out here that get these shirts from these giveaways and can immediately put them on and wear them around. I'm not jealous and I'm not hating, but Garland and I are men of girth. There is no way we are getting these free giveaways and throwing them on our girthy ass bodies. You MFers are walking around like y'all so sexy. Y'all can just take these little ass shirt, take your shirt off, and then throw on this little tight ass shirt. F y'all. Come on, yo. Stop treating us like that. First of all, women like big men anyway. They like girthies. We are girthies. You little dudes, so what? You can wear your little soccer shirt. You don't even play
Right.
soccer. Oh, jerk. Come on, yo. I hate y'all. I hate y'all, yo, because y'all just think y'all so you know what? Dudes that wear shirts that they get in giveaways right away think they better than everybody else. That's what it is. Y'all think y'all better than everybody else.
Calvin, I had to tie mine around turban, like, because I get
I
tired
just
of carrying
I
it
just
after a
roll
while.
mine up and put it in the back pocket because clearly that ain't never getting worn. I give it to my wife or give it to one of my
Right.
kids because
Paula
that
had on
ain't.
a she had on a Guzman shirt the other day. One of the giveaways.
I don't
Got me
understand.
a Guzman shirt.
It just be you get the shirt and you can just immediately put it on. Who does
Yeah.
that? You're walking
I
around here like a middle schooler with your little middle school body and you putting
right.
them shirts on.
I only want to go to the hat giveaway, the cup giveaway.
I got so many shirt giveaways. I ain't been able to I ain't been able to put one of them on since my last
Never,
year of high school.
bro. Remember one year they gave away a baseball bat? Were you
They
old
used
enough
to
to? Yeah, they gave away
wait a
Eddie
minute.
Murray. They had to give away a black
It was
bat.
I had an orange baseball bat that they gave away one time. But I remember my father saying, why are they giving away these bats so somebody can get bopped in their head at the end of the game?
Yes, I never forget that one year they gave away, it might have been 79, 78. They gave away baseball bats as the giveaway. Can you imagine that now? I mean, real live little league baseball bat. I know some people they actually use that in little league. Oh my god.
So come on, yo. You little dudes walking around here
Yeah,
wearing the giveaways. Y'all can
y'all
wear the
get on my
giveaways.
nerves.
Yeah, man. They think they better than everybody.
Where the
Come on, I
bucket
hate y'all.
hats at?
By the way, whatever happened to the Oreo Club? Remember the Oreo Club? You used to
Yeah,
sign up for the
bro.
little Oreo Club. I
Hmm.
want to sign up now. I went to sign up for
Yeah.
one of their little Oreo things. You gotta pay like $600 just to get in. Like what?
You used to have
And that
the junior Orioles. You
the
used to have the
junior
junior
Orioles, that's what it
Orioles.
was. The
Yep,
junior
the
Orioles.
junior
I
Orioles.
used to get me a little hat, and I swear it was sponsored by Burger King because I remember it was
Yeah, it
Burger
had a
King
little
stitching
Burger
on the
King
hat.
logo. Yeah, I hated that. Like you be trying to act like it's a real hat. If you had like the Burger King logo, like dang, why they put the Burger King logo or Crown gas station? Why y'all got the
Crap.
Crown gas station on this?
The Crown gas station was on the they gave you a picture of the team picture, and they had the
Yeah,
little Crown.
like okay, we know y'all sponsored the picture, but man, come on. Your little glove. Why I gotta have a little Crown gas station on the glove?
The little plastic glove. You used to get the little
Brought to you by your local Crown stations. Like, oh my god, the
I'm just
worst
saying,
gas
man.
ever.
But yeah, so thumbs down to you little dudes that can just grab the giveaway, put it on immediately, and
I
shout out
know.
to the girths, us
I got
girthies.
right. I got a soccer shirt. Oh hey, I'll take a small. Oh no, that medium's too big. I'll take a small. Oh, large? No. That's probably too big for me. I'll take a medium.
Oh, and by the way, Sheen got hit with a Rico, so y'all better stop wearing Sheen before y'all like ghosted Tasha. Y'all gonna
Right.
be
Right.
Hey man, it was another great show. We will definitely be back next week. We're going to discuss
Yes.
more sports. We
Yes.
definitely appreciate you all joining
Hey
us.
y'all, as a matter of fact, something me and Calvin talked about, if you want to watch it and you want to leave us some comments, we're going to review Goliath. It's the new documentary that's playing on Showtime about Wilt Chamberlain. And so I believe it's two-part. Look at it and talk about it next week. And so if you want to, kind of follow us in that discussion, you look at it as well.
I don't know why they didn't call it 100. Did he say he slept with 100 women? Is that what it was? I don't know why they didn't call it
No, it
100.
was 10,000.
10,000. Why didn't they call it 10,000?
10,000.
They missed an opportunity right there.
Hey.
Mr.
Yeah,
Promotion.
it's a crazy. I know this is crazy at the end. There was a story. I think it was Sports Illustrated. One of his sons found him of the 10,000 women. Um, I don't know how some way, somehow, he found out that he was actual the birth son of Wilt Chamberlain from one of these
Okay.
relationships, but Wilt Chamberlain would not acknowledge it, and I think he wound up having to like get a DNA once he passed, where he got some blood and proved it. Yeah, real crazy story.
That has
So
to
you
be
figure if he slept with 10,000 women, he's got to have a grip of kids out here.
he,
He's got to have a
you
grip
know
of
what?
kids.
I'm a chill. I'm a chill on Wilt.
Bro, he was in the 70s. They weren't wearing no condoms in the 70s.
Wilt, who by the way, it's never really discussed when they talk about the goats, and I don't know
He
why
should
they
be.
don't. Yeah, he should
Yeah,
be in those conversations.
I
Now, I
know.
don't think he's going to be number one, but he should definitely be in those
Yeah,
conversations. And
when you
rarely
talk
has
to
he ever.
my father's generation, it's Wilt. It's Wilt.
Okay, okay,
Yeah,
okay.
it's Wilt was the most powerful basketball player they saw their generation. So
He should
yeah.
definitely be in the conversation.
Mm-hmm.
Hey, but anyway, we thank you for joining us. Of course, we are live on YouTube right now, and if we're on all the podcast platforms, and if you listen to us on Spotify, you can actually see us. So
Get
we
with us.
definitely appreciate it. Make sure you rate us, review us, leave us a comment, and join us. As Garland said, join us next week when we discuss the Will Chamberlain documentary. I believe you said it's on Showtime. It's two
Yep, it's
parts.
on Showtime. It's two parts. It's on demand, and so it's streaming. And so yeah, go there and you can look at either on streaming or you can pull it up on demand.
So we definitely appreciate you all joining us. Let me hit this outro real quick, and
Oh,
then we will talk to you all next week.
rolling out nice and smooth. You have been listening to Fanboys, an All Things Black with Garland and Calvin production.
That's right.
Thank you for listening, and make sure to rate and review this episode on all of your podcast platforms.